on the Christmas tree.
Old man theater, you'll stop disrespecting the power of the Christmas tree.
Piss the Christmas tree.
Anywho, welcome to Same Cast, Different Day podcast, the number one podcast of what state we live in Wisconsin for number wait, what the fuck am I saying?
I'm in LA.
The number one podcast in Wisconsin for millennials and Gen Zs. There we go. And we have the co-host Crystal decided to make a appearance for y'all this evening, and then we got Old Man Theater, and then that's soon to be I should switch the views, and that's soon to be adult no, what is the name of that thing called? Not adult. What are you talking about? And soon to be OnlyFans star SMA Lynette.
No. I done told y'all.
I am standing on it. I'm going to pimp you out on OnlyFans.
You ain't pimping no, but I'm not doing no OnlyFans. I told you I'm not doing no damn OnlyFans. OnlyFans is for hoes. I have class.
You could be a classy hoe.
I don't want no OnlyFans damn page.
It exists a classy hoe though.
I don't want no damn OnlyFans page.
Well, Crystal, that leaves you then. I gotta pick on somebody.
Crystal, there you go. Because I'm not doing.
You just gotta show your feet on there. You ain't gotta show your face or nothing. Just show your feet. What is all of that? All you gotta do is show your feet, or you gotta show you just show your feet. Just make feet videos.
Show away my hat. That's nice.
First of all, you know what?
I think my internet. My internet's a little slow here. I think it's a little laggy.
Well, you're lagging.
The reason why Montreal would say feet because he got boats.
You know what, old man?
I will be right back. I'll be right back.
You know what, old man theater? I'm tired of you and your shenanigans already.
I'm just saying.
I gotta put on my Christmas socks.
You keep on. I'm gonna stick your BM on you. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna stick your BM on you.
Y'all gotta teach Rose how to get on here so we can crack up with laughing for real. So
I told her that today. She just started singing to me.
What?
She just started singing to me going down the hallway. Some song she was singing.
Oh Lord, have mercy! What is wrong with Rose?
Mm-hmm. Peggy's daughter came up to me again today.
Peggy daughter. Oh, wait, I should talk about that on the podcast. As always, don't forget to head over because I am the new brand ambassador for Bear Scan. So head over to bearskn.com and use code Anthony B and receive 5% off your purchase. And also, don't forget to head over to habit365.com and get you some fresh gear and use code Anthony Ford to receive 20% off your purchase. And as always, don't forget to head over to Raise Rebellion and get you some Raise energy drink, protein shakes, and pre-workouts, everything you need to keep energized for your workout or everyday life. Use code Martin1 to receive 10% off your purchase. So tonight, we're going to be talking about Kim Porter. If you don't know who Kim Porter is, Old Man Theater going to explain to you.
She's the bitch that shot that little young dude, claimed like she reached for a gun and it wound up being a taser. I mean, reached for a taser and it wound up being a gun.
I can't with you. That was not how I thought he was going to explain that. What is wrong with you?
She's a murderer. Oh.
What is wrong with you? That is not how you were supposed to. What?
Okay, well, she's a nice cop, young lady that's cried like Rittenhouse and tried to get charges dropped.
Yeah,
but this time it didn't work. And she's got charged.
That's not. You was just supposed to be like, if for all of you who don't know, Kim Porter was on trial for the murder of Dante Wright, who. What the fuck? Wait, hold on. So,
wanna be happy?
My apologies, people. It was a ghost in my house. Did you just burp?
Yeah, he did burp. He did. Theo burped, yeah. Yeah, old man.
Wow, too.
Old man
What
Theodore.
is going on with the shenanigans tonight? But yeah, she was the cop who who allegedly mistaken her gun for the taser and
A
shot and
dildo. Oh
killed
no.
shot and killed Dante Wright. So she was on convicted of all counts of manslaughter, I believe.
Good.
So was this justice? Is the question.
You
Crystal,
know
you
what?
first. Oh, you all okay. Esme want to go first. Esme, you go first. Then.
Okay. It would only be justice if she gets enough time. You know, I have some people on my Facebook, you know, sharing the story saying that, oh, that don't mean nothing. You know, she's gonna get maybe 5 years and get off or only get a few years. So now if she gets some real time, like some hardcore good time, justice may halfway be served because you can't bring them back, you know. But if she don't get enough time for killing this boy, the hell no. If she gets off with just probation or a few years of probation for manslaughter, you know, then yeah. So we got to see what the sentence is first before we call anything justice. That's just my opinion.
That is true. Crystal.
You know, I mean, to me, I mean, she knows what the difference is. She goes to, you know, the police academy. And they're taught what there is between that taser and the gun. Okay, I'm gonna tell you hands down. I've never had my hands on a taser. But I can tell you that it's a lot lighter than a civilian issued handgun.
Oh man, Theater,
So,
you trying to get me sued for copyright issues?
Huh?
You trying to get me sued for copyright issues?
Copying who?
yeah, no music, please.
Whatever
Your
song is
music.
playing.
Music, Theo.
I can get sued for that.
No, not this one. But anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead, Crystal.
We'll let Theo. Let's hand over to Theo. I'll have to go to court.
I don't think so.
But I mean, the weight difference is definitely. Did he do that? You know what? Why don't we come back to me? Go on, Theodore. What's your thoughts on this? I'm gonna mute myself. Then I'll come back to me in just a bit.
If the bitch ain't getting life, it's no justice. I'm just gonna be straight out there with it, because I feel like this. It's bad enough we got to pay for these people to be inside of these places, but the way that it looks, and they talking about 15 years, you just took a kid's life.
How old was he at the time? Was he 19?
Yeah, 19, 18 or 19, 18 or 19 or something.
So he still
But
had
you
his
just
whole
took
life
this
ahead
kid's
of him
life.
still.
Yeah, he ain't even lived. So they talking about 15 years for this sentence.
Mm-hmm.
It's still no justice. A lot of things that's happening now with these cops or whatever going to jail, it's still no justice. It's just something that sweep up under the rug. I feel like, just to quiet people down. Oh, well, he got 10 years for killing my brother or whatever have you. That's something. No, they deserve more. I don't give a damn what color they are. If you do something wrong, a cop, you need the pay for it. You took somebody's life. It's too easy to kill them. But make their ass sit in there. We got to pay for them in the first damn place.
That is true. So what I wonder is, now with these cops, now with her and the Derek Shover, whatever his name is, dude, being convicted of, both of them being convicted of murders, basically, will this cause police officers to do less policing? Like, will they start letting criminals go because they are scared? They're scared they're gonna risk shooting this criminal and then getting locked up in jail. Or is this going, or are we gonna start seeing a change in policing where they start using less lethal ways to take criminals in? It's the big question.
I don't think that they're gonna stop what they're doing. I don't. I mean, much shit has been going on, and I'm gonna be straight up and blunt with it. Much stuff has been going on. They haven't stopped yet.
I mean,
They still doing the same old dirty stuff.
Crystal, you was about to chime in?
I mean, yes, they're taught what they're taught, but again, you got to look at their personality and their attitude towards it, you know. And if they're gonna have an attitude, or it depends on how they were raised too. That's the big thing, you know. It doesn't mean it's what side of the road you want to be on, but the problem is that sometimes people are just going to be like, you know what, I don't like these people, and whatever those people are, and
Mhm.
that's not good policing. That's not You're not being fair to people. You're not being You're being fair to a group, but not the whole, you know,
Right.
everybody, you know. So you can't just throw it at and be like, here, those people are safe because of this, because that's what I believe in. These people, nope, you know, they do something wrong, they'll be arrested. They'll be, you know, what you know we need to do aggressively. You know, I could see now in Oregon and in Colorado, they actually have like mental health agents now with the police officers,
Mhm.
just to try to talk people out of things and try to make sure instead of them getting thrown on the ground or getting abused or beat or whatever case scenario is, before law enforcement gets aggressive, I think to me this is something that needs to happen not just in America, but I think it happens worldwide.
I'm
There's more things in India. You know, will they let people go after this whole defunding the police and this and that? I mean, I've talked with other law enforcement agents, you know, people on you know, mostly in Clapper, and they said some
mhm.
people have some some agents have quit their jobs because they said I just, you know, they're not biased one way or another. They're more worried about if all of a sudden they do something to save somebody's life, that it's in the wrong according to, you know, anybody
So
else, you know, in their minds, you know.
my whole
So
thing is what having somebody, a police officer there, say if there's somebody in a mental health crisis or whatever,
mhm.
and what if that person who's in a mental health crisis is actually posing a threat to the police officer or have a gun and is aiming a gun at the police officer trying to shoot him, then what? Because at that point, there's no point of that mental health crisis being there because the officers do have the right to defend themselves.
Oh yeah.
So
Hmm.
in all situations, I believe having somebody there is going to actually de-escalate a problem. Now, over in the UK, our friends across the pond, we see their police officers take down people or take people into custody, and they use so much less lethal force than what our policing do over here in the states. Like you see the officers give them chance after chance after chance. You see them, you know, doing everything possible before going to that lethal weapon. And then the crazy part of over there, at least the officers always pull taser first.
Yep.
Always
They've
pull taser first. Here in the States, officers always pull gun first.
yep
But
they've
not only that, not to cut you off, not only that, in back, you know, in other states, or I'm sorry, other countries, they don't just target just one race. They get every fucking body. So if you are fucking up, they're gonna get you. No matter
yep.
what race you are, they're gonna
Mhm.
get you. It's not like it's one race that's targeted like us, you know. So it's totally different from, you know, the states versus, you know, in other countries.
I mean,
Right. They
you know, Martel, we've talked about this too, even offside camera, you know, and talked about just even down in DC when you were in DC for a while, you know, and just me reading that while you were there, it just it breaks your heart. I mean, if you really are really passionate and read about stuff, but to me, I think it's just wrong. It's not it's not the color of your skin. It's not your religion. It's not your gender, nothing like that. If you're pulling a weapon of anything at somebody, yes, don't get wrong. I mean, yeah, what they do in the UK is true. They have their stop sticks. They have what they need to do. You know, they have their ways to do it without using weapons. You know, but they have
mhm.
other means. You know, the UK has got it. France, Germany. You know, all your Europe, Japan, Australia. You know, again, these are countries that they pulled all these people having guns. Canada's the same way. You know,
Are
most
they? I don't think the general public in Canada is even allowed to have guns.
so they're allowed for like for hunting purposes. You know, if they want to go and do like sport hunting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
for like that, but I'm like, Like
But
like in America, like, oh, I have the right to bear arms. Like, I don't think that's really a thing in Canada.
What the hell they carry? Batons or something? What?
no, well, no. I
We
mean,
talking about like
but
in Canada, Theo?
Yeah.
No, like their police officers still have guns and tasers and so on, but it's not like, you can't, unless you're using the gun for sport. It's not like a lot of their residents have guns. It's just like,
no.
but some of you still come across those people where it's always gonna be bad apples no matter where you go.
Oh
Those
yeah, oh
criminals that
yeah,
are gonna have guns, so they still have guns and stuff. They
oh
just
yeah.
like far as like they residents go, they majority
Like
of their
Mayberry.
yeah, like majority of their
Yeah,
population don't have guns.
Yeah.
no.
They don't own
Yeah.
guns in their household.
Well, yeah. But then
But
again, you got to kind of think of too, a lot of these cops too, I think they need to take how can I say, is some type of test to determine, because some people be just scary, just point blank scary. And that's how I can kind of say some of these people get shot, because they get triggered, not necessarily just trigger happy, they're just nervous. They don't know how to apprehend somebody. So first thing that they do, they reach for their gun, they shooting and asking questions later.
That is true. And I think that's what it is. Someone freeze up and get scared, just shoot first. And like you said, then they try to piece everything together afterwards of what happened. And then at that point, it's too late to try to go back and try to figure out what happened or what you could have did wrong, because you would have just did that in the first place. We wouldn't have been in this situation.
Right. And like I said, with that young kid, even with what's his name in Kenosha, they could have tackled him. I mean, they got their hands on this boy while he's sitting in the car. What's the sense of even really reaching for a taser? Yank his ass up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
The car is parked. It's not going nowhere.
Exactly.
And what was it? Three of them on him?
He's reaching for a knife. Like, come on now. Not even a black person in a right mind is not gonna reach into their car and get a knife and swing it at a police officer or try to stab a police officer, especially with everything that's been going on.
Well, I mean, I've seen some behind the scenes myself of Rick and Allison. It's amazing that the first guy, the one that had the reckless homicide, and it was, endangerment, to public safety, the one that he took out first. It's amazing he took him out, where he was disabled, but not enough to where, like, the third guy that had a shot at him, like a point blank right in front of him, didn't take it.
Who did? Wait, where was this at?
We're talking down in Kenosha.
Nobody.
The three.
The first, none of them were handicapped that he shot.
No. But he actually he got. I mean, he did enough damage to the first.
Oh, you talking about Jacob Black?
No,
or
not
Blake?
Jacob. No, it's because of Kyle Rittenhouse. This is stuff they're not telling you. And so, yeah, I mean, I just watched the video actually recently about that, and that was kind of a little bit disturbing on it to see. He actually knew that these people were bad already, bad apples. But you could see those people actually were trying to start. They were trying to start the riots. They were trying to start trouble. These three people,
What people?
I mean, to be the people who a lot of the riots got started. Like a lot of them started off peaceful, but then you had members of the Proud Boys who actually inserted themselves into the riot to make it seem like the peaceful protesters were the one who started the riot, when really the Proud Boys. Because if you go and look at in Minnesota, there was just this random white guy who wasn't even part of the protest. He didn't participate in none of the protesting. He was just going around breaking windows to make it seem like there were people right there, and there were black people stopping him from breaking windows. So they would make it look like black people were just out here being animals and just looting and rioting, and it wasn't really black people. Like they didn't start getting the root. They didn't start the looting until they saw all these other people doing it. Like, oh well, they're doing it, so then we're gonna go do it. And that's how they made it look like, the blacks started rioting, when it was just really the Proud Boys just inserting themselves to make it look like it was more than what it was.
It's true. I mean, and these three guys could have been part of that. We don't know. They don't tell you that if they were a part of it or not. But
It doesn't make no difference. I mean, they still shouldn't have got shot like that. Kyle was down there to do what he did, and that was the bottom line. It ain't like he
James,
knew that they was
went down
bad
there.
guys.
He
How
You
would he
knew
know
that
that?
he was
he
going
went there to intentionally start trouble, is what
Yeah.
it seemed like.
I mean, it's nothing to do with they already knew that they was bad guys. How can you know that? These guys are just roaming the streets. They roaming the streets like everybody else. Whether what side of the fence they was on, we have no clue.
Right.
But
So
the bottom line is that that piece of shit shouldn't be off on talk shows or
getting standing
whatever have you.
ovations for giving
Yeah,
speeches for being a racist.
The racist murderer at that.
Because to be honest, when he got asked to go speak at that thing, I'm like, dang, y'all just glorifying racism all over again.
All over again.
And
that's what he was sent there for.
yeah, so moving into another thing because I kind of want to talk about this on one of the other episodes, but I have forgot because y'all know I'll be drinking. Um, so I wanted to talk about I forgot the guy's name, but the young man that caused the truck the crash in Colorado about
Wiggins.
2019.
Yep.
He was sentenced to 110 years in prison for
Damn.
and it turns out that the company that he's worked for was known for having citations for trucks not being well maintained and all these other kind of things and failing inspections and stuff. So this company was known for that. And basically the brakes fell on this young man's truck. He panicked and crashed and basically caused this massive crash that was already, even though it was already another crash on the highway. He made another crash behind that crash and 4 people died.
Oh. Oh.
And he was sentenced to 110 years in prison. And a lot of truckers was like, this man was young. He was working for a company that properly didn't train him right. So when
Right.
he
They
did
need to
start,
be charged.
yeah. So when he did
Oh.
lose control of the truck, he basically panicked and didn't know what to do. They was like, oh well, he could have went off to one of the runaway truck things that was off on the side. Like, was it
He didn't
one
know
there?
that.
Was it one there? Was it really one there that he could have
Yeah.
used? Like, we don't know that.
So
But they were trying to make it at first. The courts was trying to make it seem like he intentionally did this. Like, no, it was an accident. His brakes failed. He panicked. So now they have over 400 signatures to either have him his sentence reduced or have him get time served for it. He's already been in jail for. Me personally, I think that
He
they
should
shouldn't
never
have went
win.
after him. They should go after that
He should
company.
never win. Yeah. They should take full responsibility for that. Because they, just like you said, they have records showing that they have failed trucks and failed and malfunctions and shit going on with these trucks. So if you got somebody new coming in, they don't know what your problems is. They just trying to get there to get a damn job. And by him being young or whatever and starting out, just like you say, he panicked. So like, what else was he gonna do? You know, he didn't mean that was a simple accident. They asked should have been the ones doing that time served or serving time or whatever. That's fucked up.
so to follow up on Martell's, that's correct. They did not; those trucks did not pass DOT inspection. Correct. They actually both the trainers, the company are all denying that everything was not fixed, everything else. So they're trying to shove this off into the driver, saying it's the driver's fault, which normally under federal law, they normally shove it onto the driver. But under this circumstance, because Colorado does normally throw a pretty hefty fine, similar to states that are also on the Pacific. So these, to me, in my opinion, I've had both sides. Right? I've had truck drivers tell me, just let them rot in jail. But then again, I wanted the facts, and these are the facts straight up. And I can tell you hands down as a man, I agree with you. And same with you, Martel, 100%. It shouldn't be on the driver. Okay. Now, if the driver were to get maybe a slap on the wrist and he couldn't drive for the next 5 years and have to just get a regular job until he can get his CDLs back, fine. If he does, where to get some time, depend on what it would be, but don't throw him in for a life sentence. To me, there's people out there.
They're gonna give him 110 years.
Yeah,
I'm really ready to see what they give this damn woman.
He was 23 when it happened, and he's now 26 when he got sentenced.
It's something definitely fucked up with that situation. I understand they say that the state is fucked up itself,
Mm-hmm.
but prime example in a nutshell, and um, the justice system is still fucked. They can give this person 110 years for a truck accident, and they can give another person 5 or 10 years for just straight up killing somebody. And you know that they was proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
The justice system all the way around still sucks. And it depends on what he looks like. He's uh, India or something like that. He doesn't look just white or whatever. He
He
looks like
still
he's mixed with something.
he's still considered like a minority brown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
It's something very fucked up. Besides the what they already say the state is fucked up on their laws, but 110 fucking years. Come on, get the fuck out of Dodge. That's, I mean, in the truck accident, it's understandable if you got proof saying that, okay, well, this guy's just going down the highway. He's, running people over and he's doing it on purpose and all this other shit. That's one thing. Now, promise up the Waukesha parade thing. That motherfucker need to give him 110 years.
Exactly.
He did it on the ticket,
Yeah,
but this guy was driving the highway. I mean, come on now. Which way should we go with this? That's not fair. I don't feel like it's fair.
I mean,
Absolutely not fair.
you're right, Theo. I mean, that guy, Lily, the guy you're talking about in Waukesha, tried running his girlfriend over, Lily, 2 weeks prior to this whole parade thing. And they still haven't figured out if he was running away from law enforcement agencies because he was doing some criminal activity and to run through a parade. They're still working on that.
He wasn't running from no police. They didn't already figured that was just a tale. He wasn't running from no damn police officer. That ain't even a question in this case at this point. That's what was said in the beginning, that he was being chased, but they ain't even really speaking on that no more.
In my head, I'm thinking that he was just on drugs.
Yeah.
He looked like he was on, like when he got arrested and they show his mug shot, he looked like he was on some type of meth or something. He was high on his head.
If not that, he's got something else going on in his head.
Exactly. Right. So now that's the man, like Theo said, should be getting 110 years in prison, not a trucker for his brakes basically stopped working and not working and crashing.
Right. Because like I said, one of the young lady that works here, that's I forget, reception. Come to find out, I haven't seen her in a while. She's 30 years old, 29, 30. She said she had to push her kids out the way. That's how she caught. She was one of the ones that got hit. And her leg was messed up. She said she had to literally push her kids out the way.
So just imagine what more, if he would got farther into that parade, how much more damage he could have done, how more people he could have killed. But yet, we can let a young man who's just doing his job in brakes fail rot in jail for 110 years.
And that's what
other truckers,
110 years.
and other truckers agreed that the sentence is wrong. They don't think that he should be. Some of them don't even think he should be sitting in jail at all. The company should be at fault. So as of this recording, they're still not delivering nothing to Colorado. No trucker will not go inside Colorado. So any residents that live in Colorado literally has to drive out of town to get food and basic essentials. They're not going into Colorado. The truckers have the highway shut down so that no truck can get in there. And I'm like, and I totally agree with the truckers. Like, until y'all do something that's how to reduce his sentence or let him walk or something, we're not coming to your state. We're not delivering goods. And it's crazy because now that I look at it now and I'll be like, and people are like during this whole pandemic, and people were like, "Oh, praise the nurses and praise the doctors and da 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 da" during this whole pandemic. Now that I think about it, like truckers have a lot more power than a nurse, a doctor, a president, anybody in this world. The truckers, to me, the truckers are the most powerful people in this nation. If they decide to go on a strike and say we're not coming to your state or whatever, or your city is going to run dry.
Yeah.
You're not going to have no resources being brought to your state or city.
Yeah.
So truckers have a lot more power than I possibly would imagine after this whole thing came out. And I'm
Well, if
like,
you want to
go
put it
ahead.
like that, not to cut you off, you want to put it like that, you can even add these airplane people. You can add the ships that
Uh-huh.
have to sail the drop stuff off. I mean, yeah, they all linked together because I
Yeah.
mean that's the way we get product. That's the way we get stuff from different places, China, and all over the world. So without them, they're the true heroes. Well, I
Right.
mean, yeah, nurses and stuff like that, they're the true heroes on saving lives, but they have to get the stuff to us, medicines and
Right.
everything.
Exactly.
Exactly. Then they have to risk the weather conditions, whatever weather conditions, to get the shit to us. So it's like they
Yeah.
have to. It's a lot of shit that they have to go through. It is.
I totally agree. And I still stand on what I said. I commented on a post when everybody's praising nurses and doctors. And I say, like, and I still stand on, like, you do realize that it's more than nurses and doctors that work in a hospital that make a
Yeah.
hospital run. Like, y'all forgot there's therapists, there's CNAs, there's there's housekeepers, there's sorry,
Transplants.
transporters. There's like
Everybody.
transporters. There's EKG people, the people who work in the
Mm-hmm.
lab. Like there are
Technicians.
so
Yeah.
Slackers.
much, there are so much other people who work in the hospital to make taking care of that one patient happen. Like
Slackers.
even the slackers.
But, I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's not
Yeah.
just, yeah, you got to look at that. I mean, because I was in the hospital recently, and I can tell you hands down that it wasn't just doctors, and nurses, or surgeons I seen. I seen people that were, cleaning personnel, that were doing their end of it because they have to keep rooms clean. You have to keep those patients healthy so they don't get sick
Right.
from any shit going around that's going
and
around the
it and
hospital
it
or room
and, and I
service.
think Theo can second me on this. Like when you work, especially even if you're a housekeeper, like you're not just a housekeeper. Sometimes you're a part-time therapist to some of them visitors there, because sometimes
Oh yeah.
them visitors and sometimes even the patients will have something going on in their head and they would not want to talk about with the nurse or a doctor. They want somebody who does nothing about what's going on and want to hear somebody's honest opinion about something. And who's the person who comes in that room every day who doesn't poke them, doesn't ask them to do nothing, don't give them no bad news? Who's that person to always come in there and do that? It's always the person who comes in there and clean the room.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, a
You
lot of
you
people who work in like housekeeping or even a dietary person who come in, like it's those people are the ones who come in and can change a whole patient's mindset about what is going on. Like a patient could be
Yeah.
nervous about a surgery and would not say nothing to the nurse, or even second guessing going into a surgery, and they wouldn't say nothing to the nurse or doctor. They're just gonna go through to the doctor's yes and try and go through with the surgery and not really say what's on their mind. But they would tell somebody in dietary or the transport person or the housekeeper person in the heartbeat, I'm scared of shit about this surgery. I'm nervous, or I don't, or even the visitors, I don't think my loved one's gonna make it. What am I gonna do? And or just sitting up there listening to them tell stories about their loved one can make them feel better about what's going on with the situation because you sat there and listened. And
That goes
a
along.
lot of people don't realize how much work goes into being whatever, no matter what your job is in a hospital. You play a role in any person that's coming in there to heal, no matter what your job is. So to keep constantly hearing on the news and hear people say, oh, praise God and thank God for all the nurses and doctors. There's a whole nother team behind the nurses and doctors that make that place run. And
Exactly.
at
right.
some point, yeah, they need to start giving
Y'all the
these
ones
people
that
credit.
make it run. Yeah. You know, even the PCAs and shit like, hey, we gotta go and we have to work with these COVID patients and shit like that. We have to work closely with them. So it's like, you know, we gotta make sure that they good. So when the doctors come see, you know, or come check on them, you know, it's it's just a whole organization type shit, you know, that
Right.
you know, that's left out because doctors and nurses. Yeah, okay, true enough. But what about
And,
the little people?
and to be honest, not to try to talk down on doctors, but a lot of people, like I say, if nurses do way more than a doctor, because I always tell people never piss off your nurse, because your doctor can be doing some very fucked up shit to you, and
Yeah.
it's your nurse that advocates for you, like, no, I don't think that's a good idea, I think we should do this instead, I think we should use this medication instead. Sometimes a doctor just look at you and realize what you're diagnosed with and say, okay, do this and that. But if your nurse isn't, if you piss off your nurse and your nurse is not willing to advocate you, there's a good chance that you can die because your nurse didn't advocate for you. And there have been, and I have seen situations being in a hospital setting where if a nurse didn't stand up for a certain patient, it could have went the total wrong way, or the healing process could have been different.
Sideways.
So I always tell people, don't never piss off your nurse. I don't care how unhappy you is about being there. I don't care if you disagree with the care that your family member get. I can see if the nurse is lazy or whatever, but I always tell people, them nurses is the one who advocate for your life. Because that's at the end of the day, when if something was to happen and your heart stopped, who was the first person there to save your life? Because to be honest, it was a situation where a patient fell and the patient was laying on the floor and the nurse said go get the doctor, and the doctors on that floor said, oh, that's not my patient, and they transferred because the patient was basically was getting transferred to another floor. So
That's fucked up.
instead of them doctors coming to go check on that patient that's still on their floor and fell, they said no, and you got page the doctor who has that patient. So that's
Ooh,
why I
that
always tell
pisses
people
me off
that
to the fullest.
them nurses advocate for you. Them nurses,
Some of them.
some of them, yes.
Don't give them all credit.
I'm not gonna give them all credit, but majority of them, they're there for you. So that's why I tell people, don't piss off your nurses, because you can end up dead if you piss off your nurse. I'm just being honest.
You know what? I'd like to follow through with that one and say that from my experience that I had at MedStar Health, and I can talk about it in Baltimore. I can tell you hands down that the every person, right down to it, everyone. I mean, I will tell you that my surgeon, the doctors, the surgeon, like there's like a group of surgeons. I will tell you that the doctors, the nurses, the techs, everyone, even the ladies that came in and were cleaning my room. I'll tell you what, everyone was like they took their job seriously every day. You know, we have. I mean, I will say I did make a lot of friends there. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm not gonna say it's my second home, but I will say one thing hands down that I would say to me one of the best hospitals in the states, hands down, really, to tell you the truth. I'm not gonna brag about it, but I will tell you that if anybody out there needs to reach out to me, you know, by all means, and you want actually a good recommendation from my surgeon, I will definitely tell you that Dr. Del Corral was one of the best out there, and I had one of the. I will tell you hands down that MedStar gave me one of the best experiences, hands down. First time having surgery, a major surgery in my life. And I will tell you hands down, from just what everyone's saying here, is that you know the people actually care, they actually go the distance for you. So, props off to them. So I'm gonna just gave them just a few minutes or so talking about it, but I want to say hands down, I'm really appreciative of everybody out there. So for everyone that's out there, and I know everyone, we make sure to send this podcast out to them specifically, so they know who they are. Those nurses, doctors, surgeons. Very appreciative. Thank you so much. I mean, listen. I just passed up 2 months on Tuesday, so good for me for being able to sit up here at my computer desk and be able to do this again. So
Power of the Christmas tree.
Hey,
Oh, I left out. I'm left out maintenance workers in my rant too. Thank you, maintenance people. Thank y'all for all y'all do. There's a certain maintenance guy at work that I kind of in a war with because I'm always rearranging stuff on his cart and he gets mad at me sometimes. But
Who don't you fuck with?
you know what?
Shit.
like I tell everybody that no one is safe from me.
No.
Even management, there's no one safe from me.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
You sound like me at work.
Everybody, what you say, you heifer?
You sound like me at work,
Oh.
heifer.
Oh, I'm just saying, just nobody is safe. I don't care. Everybody gets the same treatment all the way around. I don't even be caring. But so ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 more episodes left of this season before we get to go on the hiatus. I get a break, yay, woo. So I hope everybody had a happy Merry Christmas. On the next episode, it would be 2 days before New Year's Eve on the next episode. So I don't know what we have planned for that episode actually yet.
S2 coming up. Yeah, I don't know. We're probably gonna have a big celebration at the end, probably.
And then when next season started up, we'll be getting ready to celebrate our 100th episode of the podcast, which I still have nothing planned for either. So
Told you a Rose episode.
I
Rose
know I'm
chicken
gonna try to get, maybe that's so I can get Rose on for the 100th episode, so everybody can finally meet Rose and she can explain her shenanigans that goes on at our workplace. Old Man Theater was making fun of her for joining in my "All I Want for Christmas Is You" video.
No, wait, I was tagged in that video. I thought that was I loved it. I love that
Right.
video.
He commented on Facebook.
I did. I commented it twice. So I gotta do it twice.
Old Man Theater commented twice on Facebook. I'm like, really, Old Man Theater?
I couldn't help it. I mean, hey.
You better leave Rose alone. She was dancing her little heart out.
Yes, you was.
Yeah.
I mean, at least
Okay.
you ain't see her trying to twerk.
Papa got a brand new dance.
I mean, to tell her like, ain't your hip fake? Stop it before you break it again.
She sure act like it kicks in and out. Sometimes she walk right, sometimes she walk left.
You left out the Potawatomi walk.
I ain't going there.
She got a Potawatomi walk. When I'd be like, Rose, you're moving, so use your Potawatomi walk. And she started walking real fast and stuff, y'all. It'd be hilarious.
That's what she had the money. Heading toward the machine.
Yeah. Oh, good old Rose. We got to get Rose on here. And Kami, if you're listening to this or streaming this, we got to talk about having you come back on as a guest for season. What season is coming up? Season 5. Kami of Johannesburg, South Africa. We'll try to get you back on. So this has been Same Cast Different Day Podcast. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Facebook at Same Cast Different Day Podcast. And don't forget to use
check
some
out
codes.
Cafe Press and check out
I'm not there yet.
Oh, for merch out there?
I was going to say, don't forget to use code Martel1 to receive your 10% off at Ray's Rebellion. And then don't forget to use Anthony B to receive your 5% off at bearskn.com and habits365.com for your fresh gear. Use code Anthony4 to get 20% off your purchase. And also, don't forget, like Crystal said, don't forget to head over to cafepress.com/SCDD podcast to receive your official podcast merch out there, people. Your official podcast merch. If y'all tag us in your podcast merch, we will actually, in the video version of the podcast, I will actually put it in video so the world can see you and your Same Cast Different Day podcast merch. So, does anybody has any final closings before I end it?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and
Since I couldn't get you guys y'all lights before Christmas, after the last show, I can guarantee you to get them by Christmas of next year, if you still want them.
By Christmas?
Wait,
no matter what,
hey.
you buy the wine, you get a free roll of light bulbs.
Look at
And if you ask right now, you could probably get a damn Christmas tree.
What is
So
wrong with
hit
you?
me up. You might get a song in the dance with him and my
Mariah
He didn't even
Carey.
sit on my Christmas tree. Listen to this guy talk.
I even
This
throwing
guy
a
talk here.
CD of that too. Just hit me up at POB at Facebook. Right on.
What is wrong with you? Why are you always trying to sell my Christmas
Look
lights?
at. He's selling Christmas lights, but these guys couldn't come up and sit on my Christmas tree. What's up with that? You know, what's up with that? Really?
It
Really?
ain't that far to drive.
Yeah, well, you could drive. I told you could drive, and it was like
I'm poor. We poor.
15 minutes.
We poor down
15
here.
minutes set up and they can leave.
We down here thugging right now.
I got sleep apnea. I almost didn't make the show today.
You choked him.
Oh my gosh.
You can't be doing that to
Power of
her.
the coast.
Right.
Oh
Yeah,
my
really?
old man theater. You cannot be doing that,
Yeah, I'm
especially in the middle of somebody puff. You can't.
Okay. Well,
Well, she ain't
I'll just
passing.
admit,
She ain't passing.
Oh,
I'm
I'm in
sorry,
the
dear.
mid stuff.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
oh,
I'm all right, shit.
Lord have mercy.
She should have a nice buzz now since she choked.
Lord have mercy. Ladies,
Esme, do you have any closing comments before we go?
she bald headed. Oh, don't forget.
Nothing.
Don't forget. Oh, well, since she ain't got none, I got something for y'all. Don't forget, Esme is coming to OnlyFans near you, showing off them vinyl mics and them feet. Them vinyl mics. I'll just let y'all know she's coming to OnlyFans and OnlyFans near you.
No.
Telling those
That's
vinyl
false.
mics for a low
I do
price.
have something closing. I do have a closing statement. I'm not doing the OnlyFans. Nothing. I'm not doing the OnlyFans.
She's selling them vinyl mics for a low price of $6.99. Coming to OnlyFans near you.
You know, stop trying to sell shit.
As we close out, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
They know where to find us. That the most important thing, the most important one, is Facebook.
I
Wait,
said Facebook.
wrong camera. Facebook.
And don't forget to check out Spacebook.
Yeah. Shut the over theater. Go check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Same Cast Different Day Podcast, the #1 podcast in Wisconsin for millennials and Gen Z.
I'm Crystal B, and there's the man right there. See you later, Martel. It's been fun.
What is he? I'm done.
I'm not doing
All of that.
I
You
ain't
said
doing
#1. Make
OnlyFans.
up your damn mind.